Welcome to our garden. It is beginning of June and I'm going to show you what it looks like here at the end of our spring. Thankfully we still get a little bit of the coolish nights and the hot during the day. Pretty soon it's going to be hot all the time, so we're still taking advantage of the little bit of spring that we have left. Here's the front of our yard with our big, beautiful orchid tree that gives us lots of shade. And underneath is our new garden that we planted with our curcumas. And here's our beautiful orchid flower. We're only going to have them for a little bit longer. I'm very surprised that we actually still have flowers. Usually in the springtime, we don't have any flowers and the tree doesn't look the best. We're getting lots of new growth, which happens around this time in June. And it just grows a lot, and we have to trim it a lot or else it gets out of control. This is our beautiful planter that my husband made for me with these purple pentas and the white pentas. And this is a succulent that I pulled from our yard. It was growing as a weed, but it has the most beautiful purple flowers that you can see only in the morning time, and then by lunchtime they're usually closed. But it was a little tiny piece, now it's taking over the whole pot. And here's the beautiful light post. Here is underneath of our beautiful orchid tree, and these are the curcumas and daylilies that we planted last weekend. Oh, I do see here a lot of weeds are coming up, and it's due to this beautiful bird feeder that we have right here, and the birds throw down their seeds. So we're gonna have to do something about that. But for now, this is what it looks like. Okay, the next plant that we're coming up to is a beautiful Abigail. We've been growing her for about 8 years already, and she's getting nice and big and strong. Hey, we're here in our flagpole garden bed. There's our flag up there. So if you remember, we tried to plant some zinnias up in front and cosmos in the back. Unfortunately, only one of our seeds came up, and it was for this beautiful zinnia. And we have replaced the cosmos with our white and red vincas, kind of like we had last year. We just don't have our blue evolvulus. I think the zinnia is very pretty. It's the very first time we've ever grown zinnias, and each one is different. This is the first one that we got, and it's so cool. They open up in layers, just one little layer at a time. And then came this one. We thought for sure it was going to be purple because in the middle it looks purple, but it's this more, I don't know what color you want to call it, but it's a very beautiful color. And then this little zinnia came out, and it only has one little level. Very interesting how they grow. And here are our vincas.
Oh, hello. Oh, this is our plumeria, and it's 3 years old. It smells nice and sweet. Would you like to smell it? This is our hibiscus. I found it at Walmart at the clearance rack, and I asked Mommy if I could have a pink hibiscus. We got 2 of them for only $7.
$7 each. So it says it's going to be this beautiful pink hibiscus, head over heels. Looks like a very beautiful flower. Can't wait to see it bloom.
Or pop.
Or pop. We hope that it's going to survive all of these caterpillars that we got growing on it. Found another one?
Yeah, this one right here, eating. See, it's very skinny leaf.
Here's our mama butterfly laying some eggs. If you want to have butterflies in your garden, definitely get a passion vine flower. We were driving down the road the other day and saw a neighbor throwing out a big plumeria branch. So we cut off all the little branches to make some more plumeria plants. And we're hoping that they will grow nice and well. We are getting a lot of rain already and it's not even summer. And I think plumerias don't like rain too much, so we're hoping that they'll survive. If not, we'll enjoy them while we have them. These are our purple vincas. This one is a darker purple and this one's a lighter purple. It doesn't have any flowers right now. But just last month we had cut it down the middle. It did have a lot of blooms, but it was starting to look very skinny and lanky. So if you cut your vincas, they will grow new shoots to make it more bushy and more fluffy. And this is a bamboo that we got as a housewarming gift 12 years ago. It's growing nice and tall and beautiful, and we love it.
And it's also a drinking bowl for Lexi and her friends.
Yeah, we always make sure we have plenty of water here because even though Lexi has her own water bowl, she prefers this one for whatever reason. Maybe the bamboo cleans the water. I'm not sure, but she seems to be healthy, so we let her do it.
Well, here was our mother of millions, and these tiny, tiny, tiny little seeds fall off, and if you plant them like right here, now we have more mother of millions.
Yes, they recommend to grow these plants in a pot. Ours are just growing right next to each other, which is fine for now. If we notice it getting out of hand, we will monitor it and take them out. But so far they're doing fine and they're making a nice little garden bed all of themselves right by our mailbox.
And if you look very closely right here, see how it's cuffed? It holds rain inside of it.
Oh, nice. Maybe that's why they get so big, because they save their own water.
And some of the little tiny seeds fall inside of that because they're cuffed, so they will just have another one going inside of it.
Cool, cool. This garden bed was the original garden bed that was here when we bought the house. They had these little schefflera trees that were so tiny, and now they're nice and big and bushy. We have to trim them at least twice a year. They can get really tall. And we have these beautiful red hibiscus. And we have a butterfly that comes to visit this hibiscus every day. It's a yellow butterfly. I'm not sure what kind it is, but it's so nice to get to see all the wildlife in our garden. And this tree here is kind of out of control. I kind of want to take it down, but not sure what to do with it. When we first bought the house, it had 3 little balls, one on the top, one in the middle, one on the bottom. Not sure what happened to it, but we let it get out of control, and this is what it is now. But it does give us some nice shade for our window that's on top of our doorway.
And there's also a nest inside of it.
Yeah, so that is one thing it's good for. It gives nests to our birdies.
It might be a hummingbird nest because we have a hummingbird feeder right up there.
We do have a hummingbird feeder, but it's actually a mockingbird nest. I seen the mommy. And we haven't had any hummingbirds yet, but we're hopeful that they will come. Vera and another red hibiscus. This one's more in like a tree form. It looks like it fell down at one point and is growing up straight again. And then here is our Queen Emma crinum lily. This one is one that we had planted. We got him little tiny babies. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and now it's nice and big and beautiful. Over here is another thing that we did plant in this garden bed, a pineapple. And look, it has a baby on it. And you'll see that it's actually laying down because the pineapple is so heavy. We know that our pineapples are ready when they turn bright yellow and they're super sweet. This one's not ready yet, but it's getting there. It looks like it's gonna be delicious.
When the pineapple is ready, what we do is we screw off that top and we just put it in a cup of water to grow another pineapple.
Yeah, we have lots of pineapples on the other side of our house, huh? Okay, and we got one more of our beautiful red hibiscus and another Queen Emma crinum lily. And down here,
we have a purple queen.
Yeah, this is purple queen. So we had this ever since we got the house. It was one of the plants that were already here. But just a few years ago, we started fertilizing it just with the regular Miracle Grow fertilizer. And now it's just growing so beautifully. It's got so tall. And we recently found out that you can cut off any part of the plant and it should make a new plant. So we are trying to grow some more here to hopefully make a beautiful ground cover. But unfortunately, this is the area where I bring my hose and it has run over a few of them. But you'll see some of them that we planted are doing really well. Our hope is that one day this entire bed will be full of the purple queen as a ground cover.
In the morning, there's a flower inside of here.
Yeah, they have a light purple flower that blooms, but it's only open in the morning time. We'll have to get one of those videos and show it to our beautiful purple queen in the morning with their flowers. I'm not sure the name of this plant, but it's very pretty. I like the pretty green and red colors. They look really nice together. And there's our little front garden bed. Here along the side of our house, we have some more of our Queen Emma crinum lilies and these beautiful vincas. They are just growing so nice. We planted them last year and they weathered all year long and they just look so beautiful. They used to go all the way around the tree, but unfortunately our gardener accidentally cut some of them down. But we might try to propagate them and get some more growing. They're such a beautiful red color. And we also have our little rose that just sprouted up out of nowhere. Here it is. It's growing nice and big and tall. Maybe it'll give us some flowers this year. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Okay. Coming up to our border plants, we have this beautiful, I'm not sure what it is. It's some kind of palm tree and it's gotten so big. It used to be the size of Abigail, I think, when we got the house, and now it's gigantic. And the cool thing about this plant is it grows so easily. If you just break off any part of the plant, if I break it off here, I could plant it in the ground and it just starts growing. And we'll show you some of the babies that we have in the back that we started growing.
Why do you want to break off your plant, Mommy?
That's a good question. Well, I like to take off these pieces when they turn brown, and sometimes they are very delicate, and when I do that, the whole branch falls off, and that's what happened to the ones in the back. Down here at the bottom of this palm tree, we have a beautiful oyster plant, and it was given to us by one of our neighbors who has it in their yard. And that was so kind of them to share with us. And it has given us like 6 of these little plants out of just one little plant that they gave us. So that's another one that grows super well. And we're hoping that it will grow well here. We just planted it. It used to be up front where our Mother of Millions are, and Mother of Millions was taking over. So we brought it here so that it would have more room to grow. And it seems to be doing just fine.
Well, he was all bougainvillea, and yes, it is heart-shaped and has Christmas lights. But let me tell you this story. So we had a cold frost, and Mommy bougainvillea has went down to like a baby again. So Mommy's like, well, since it went down, I want to pick it to make it how I want it. So Mommy, he put these 2 big balls here so it can turn it into a heart. And the strings, because some of them will gain too heavy, so it was going down. But instead of the strings anymore, now we're using poles.
Now we got some T-posts, and the T-posts are working really well to hold them up. This one doesn't have any flowers on it right now, but it is growing very nicely. It's almost all the way up to the top on both sides. This particular one we actually bought after the other ones had died to the ground, and we got 2 of them thinking it would grow faster, but we were surprised. The roots were stronger on the other ones and they grew super fast. Okay, this is our silk floss tree, and during our last garden video you saw this one had no leaves on it. It was just starting to wake up for the spring, and you'll see it is growing super well. Just this year, this whole branch was brand new. Anywhere you see green, those were the branches that were brand new this year, and they've grown so much, and we're hoping that this one will be a nice tall tree someday and give us some flowers. We've had it for several years, probably about 8 years, and we grew it from a little tiny seed, and it's still growing. It still looks like a baby, but it's grown really well for us this year. The rest of our border consists of some more Queen Emma crinum lilies and some more bougainvilleas. And you'll see this one is looking so beautiful. I come out here every day to control it, but it is just growing wild. And it also has the T-post, so we do need to tie up the T-post on this one. We did just get a pretty heavy rain, so it's falling down just a little bit, but this one is looking so beautiful. This is our original bougainvillea that we had for about 10 to 12 years, and it is just growing beautifully. It still has a few flowers left on it. Pretty soon it's going to be raining a whole lot, and bougainvilleas don't really like that much water. So it probably will be more leafy growth in the next video. But this is what we have now. And here's the rest of them. Here's another one of our hearts. Has some beautiful pink flowers on it right now. Or they're actually called brocks. And the flower is that little tiny white thing. This plant gives off the beautiful leaves. They're basically leaves, the pink leaves, and that attracts the pollinators. And there's another one of our Queen Emmas, and our last bougainvillea. This one's looking very beautiful with all of its beautiful bracts and blooms right now. This one has not got its T-post yet, but we'll get them up soon. And we're heading over to Abigail's tree.
This is the powder puff tree, and here's one of the little powder puffs. It's way in here, way in here. And then there's this white, oh, a ladybug, a ladybug. We like ladybugs because they're good insects. They eat the ants. But there's these weird white bugs. I have no idea what they are.
Careful, we live in a jungle. We have some ferocious tigers. We got one here and one here. Don't they look super ferocious to you? Ooh, and we got our little lion right here. Doesn't she look ferocious too? Are you ferocious? No, you're a sweet girl. Here's our crepe myrtle. It's getting lots of new growth. No flowers yet, but it's definitely waking up. I'm so excited to show you the flowers. Hopefully they'll be here within the next month or so. Hey, walking over to our gardenia. It's doing a little bit better than last month. At first, all of the flowers were dropping off because they had this hard black shell on the flowers, kind of like this one here. but there's no open flowers right now. But it smells so delightful when it is in bloom. You'll see our grass is growing back. We don't have fancy grass, but we do have, it's pretty much just weeds, but it looks nice and green and it's looking nice and pretty. Coming over here to Jonas's alamanda tree. Has lots of nice lush green leaves now. Looks like it might start having some buds here real soon. Hopefully by our next video we have some beautiful yellow alamandas to show you. These are our little baby palms that we planted from our palm in the front yard. They've been planted for about 3 months. All I did is just stick them in the ground and they're growing nice and beautiful. And hopefully one day there'll be a nice, beautiful, tall tree like the one in the front. And here's our little cactus over here. Looking nice and good. It had a flower. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the flower. It bloomed on a day it didn't come out. Here's our little butterfly garden we're trying to plant in the back. Got these beautiful purple pentas. They look pink on the camera, but they're this beautiful purple color. And we have some milkweed. No monarch caterpillars yet, but that's okay because our milkweed is still kind of small. I'm loving the beautiful orange and yellow flowers. And here's another penta. This one is a bright hot pink penta. It looks so pretty. Can't wait for them to get a little bit bigger. I love these beautiful bright colors. And we have this white lantana. Has a nice sweet smell to it. And this, I believe it's called a delphinium, not sure. That's what was listed on the box when I got it. Abigail actually got this for me for my birthday. It has the most beautiful blue flowers. They appear to glow during dusk time. They're just so beautiful. And we got some more milkweed. We're hoping to make a nice pollinator garden and invite all of the butterflies. This is our blue evolvulus. We had this last year around our flagpole and it just grew nice and beautifully. This is also another plant that only opens their flowers in the morning. And it's evening right now, but we'll try to get you an updated video of them when they're open. Here's our little mango wall. You see our little mango tree is getting super tall now. It's much taller than me, probably about 10 feet tall. This is the original one that we had potted in a plant for several years before we planted it. And then we have Abigail's mango that she planted with her papa from a seed. And it has several shoots and it has nice new growth, growing nice and strong. This is the other mango that we had planted. And this one's probably about 2 or 3 years old. And again, we planted this one in a pot first and then we brought it out here. So now it's doing pretty good. We have one more mango out here in the back. This one is not doing the best. I'm not sure if it's not getting enough sun, too much sun, what it might be. But it's the original, it was going to have some new growth here. And it turned black, but I do see that there is some new green growth coming in near it. So hopefully that will help it to do better. So we want all of our plants to thrive and do well. This is our little pineapple garden that we planted new this year. We have some more purple queen. It is thriving here. It was not doing the best when we planted it, but it's doing super great now. I think these pineapples are starting to look better. They're starting to have a little bit of green before they were all yellow. It was making me sad because I didn't know how well they were doing here. The aloe is doing phenomenal. When we planted it, it was brown and now it's beautiful green colors. We know that's doing great. Here's another one of the pineapples that were really yellow and they're starting to have a little bit of green on them. And here is our little cactuses. They're doing better now. At first when we planted them, they were getting really yellow, but I see some new growth that looks nice and beautiful green. And here's another one of the pineapples that were originally yellow and they're starting to get a little bit of green color. Another one of our purple queen doing phenomenal. Again, this one has its flowers open in the morning, so we'll have to get a view of that. And here is one of our pineapples that we had originally planted from just roots. We rooted it in water, and it's doing a lot better now. At first you can see it got to little bits of yellow leaves, and we were worried that it wouldn't like it here, but it's doing much better. It's another aloe doing a lot better. Also, that one was brown too. And here is our beautiful jasmine. It's no longer in bloom right now, but it will come up with another flushing soon. We do have a few little flowers here. And it smells so sweet and so lovely. Makes you want to be out in the garden more often when you see all these beautiful flowers and the sweet scents that it gives off. Here's our crepe myrtle in our front. It's getting some new growth and maybe even some buds soon, so hopefully we'll have some flowers to show you real soon. Well, that's it for our end of spring garden tour. Hope to see you again real soon for our summer garden tour, and hopefully the plants that were sleeping wake up and you get to see them bloom and get to see all the other ones and all their beautiful blooms that they have as well. We'll see you next time.